Welcome to the Senior Focus. I'm your host, Nick Kaltzis. I have taken it upon myself to personally make sure you're provided with helpful information each and every Wednesday afternoon. After all, my goal and the goal of the Senior Focus is to educate the senior population and to educate the sons, daughters, spouses, and caretakers of the elderly. Why? Because none of us are immune from the issues we discuss on the show. The decisions we make about the care and assistance we provide to our parents, grandparents, loved ones, those in our senior population reflect upon us as a society. And as I often say, knowledge is power. The more informed you are about a subject, the better. I encourage you to provide me with feedback about today's show and any other show you watch, whether it's a show that has already aired or an upcoming show. I want to provide you with a learning experience that is second to none. And for that, I will ask for your help and your feedback. As always, I think we have a great show for you today. We are going to discuss home care. During the last show, I mentioned to you that millions of older Americans, more than 9 million, can't pay basic expenses like food, housing, health care, and transportation. I also alerted you to the sad fact that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts leads the nation as the very worst state for a senior to find economic security. But everything has not gone away. There are still programs that provide home care, and funding is becoming more and more scarce, and eligibility requirements to gain participation in these home care programs are becoming more and more difficult to satisfy. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't inform yourselves about what there is out there and what the eligibility requirements for those programs are. My guests today are Jim Grady, Director of Business Development for Auburnviene Health Network, and also Kimberly Harmon from the Auburnviene Health Network. Kimberly serves as President and CEO of Auburnviene, a nonprofit home health agency committed to providing caring, high-quality home health care services. Kimberly has been a community nurse since 1995 and has held various positions as a field nurse, clinical manager, and director. Immediately before her employment with Auburnviene Health Network, Kimberly created, founded, and managed Harmon Home Health, an agency that provided private in-home services for seniors and those in need in the community. Donna Osterguy also joins me today. Donna is a client manager at the law firm of Elder and Disability Law Advocates, a law firm committed to serving the needs of the senior population and their caregivers. Don't forget our web address, www.theseniorfocus.com. Kimberly, Jim, Donna, welcome to the Senior Focus.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
You know, I'm still struck by the fact that Massachusetts leads the way in all of the states in being the worst state that a person, that an elder person can find economic security. The mere fact that I've been practicing in the area of elder law for probably 25, 26 years. No one wants to go into a nursing home. Everyone wants to be able to stay in their homes for as long as possible and be able to have care provided to them in that setting, in their home. And I don't think that that is really possible, or it's very difficult for it to happen in Massachusetts.
I have to agree with you, Nick, and I would say that I've been in home care specifically for about 15 years, and I've seen significant changes happen over those 15 years, and it's becoming increasingly difficult to manage those patients at home. And what we're finding is that the reimbursement is decreasing and declining, and we're trying to figure out, well, how are we going to provide the maximum amount of services? So I completely agree with you.
Let's talk about some of the things that your healthcare network provides. I suppose the first question I want to ask is, what exactly is the Auburnviene Health Network?
That's a great question, and I'm so proud to be here because I just absolutely adore our agency.
I'm proud that you're here too.
Thank you. The Auburnviene Health Network is a 93-year-old small nonprofit agency that was founded in Auburn, has very deep roots in the community, and has expanded over the past year and a half with an increase in geographic area and also increase in services. And we provide a whole range of services that allow an individual to stay at home or stay safe in the community.
So to put the time frame in perspective, 93 years, I don't know, my math might be off a little bit. Are we talking like 1919?
1919, Nick.
Yeah, 1919?
You've got it.
Okay.
Did you have that written down?
I think I read it somewhere, to be honest with you. And as far as the things that Auburnviene does, what kind of things does Auburnviene do?
We do a lot.
Okay, well, why don't you tell me what it is you do?
I'm so happy to do that. We have a full team of home care nurses that provide medication management, pain management, physical assessment, cardiac management in the comfort of someone's home. We also have a team of therapists, physical therapy, occupational therapy, for anyone who comes back home from a rehab facility or from the hospital, maybe after having hip surgery, knee surgery, shoulder surgery. So full rehabilitative care can be managed in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the services that are provided, and it really ranges the entire gamut of what a person might be suffering from, whether it's an acute or recovery from acute illness, like you said, post-surgical care, some kind of a joint replacement, recuperation and recovery. You really do provide the services that someone might need in their home.
We absolutely do. I'd have to say that home care has evolved so much over the years, and we're able to provide almost anything other than, say, a diagnostic type of test. In fact, we have what's called telehealth monitoring, which allows the nurse to actually manage the patient, record vital signs, monitor their full status without going into the home and making a visit. And that communication is electronically transmitted into our office, which gives the nurse access to the patient and great communication with the physician. So in terms of management, it's evolved so much over the past years.
Is that a new service that you just recently put into place, Kim?
No, it's not, Donna. The agency has had it for about 3 years, and we're in the process of creating a more robust telehealth program. We just signed a new contract with another vendor, so we have new monitors, and we're looking at increasing the number of patients that we have at home on telehealth from maybe, say, 10 to maybe 20.
You know, we did a program on an issue similar to telehealth with
Dr. Craig Lilly from
Lilly.
UMass, and they have the EICU program where they offer doctors on board who watch people in the ICU all day, all night, 24 hours. So you're getting that extra set of eyes, and that sounds like what your service provides as well.
It does, and I'm not sure if have you been following what's happening with the intensity in decreasing rehospitalization rates, and telehealth plays a critical component in that, because it allows us to keep those patients out of the emergency room because we're able to intervene so quickly.
Well, the emphasis that I've had in following that particular issue is what happens when someone's in a nursing home and they have to go into a hospital, and then they get readmitted back into the nursing home, and the budget cuts from the Obama administration to make that not paid for. So, not so much on the issue of home care, but on the issue of care in the facility. But anything that can help someone stay in their home is what everyone wants.
I think ideally everybody wants to be in their own environment, and I've seen over the past 15 years that individuals, they thrive when they're in their own environment, and it's a familiar surrounding, it's comfortable, and you know, it really is where everybody wants to be. And I think that's why I have such a passion for what it is that I do, as my team does.
And I'm sure that you find that your patients that you do service want to go home from the hospital as soon as possible. I think that they will say that their progression of how they get better quickly is because of the fact they're in their own home. We hear it all the time with our clients in the office. They want to go home. They want to get better at home. They don't want to even be, in a sense, in rehab facilities. They do better in their home.
They do, and sometimes they want to come home too quickly, and that's when we step in and we advocate, and you know, our team will try to plan for a safe discharge back into the community.
What about specific therapy modalities, speech therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, are these also items that you provide to people in their homes?
We do speech, occupational, physical therapy, and then we also have a social work service available as well. And that would be in terms of reimbursement through Medicare, Medicaid, and also we have contracts with all of the HMOs, but we also offer private services for physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech through our affiliate company, which is Bancroft Private Care.
Well, that's what I was going to get into, how exactly you guys get paid for the services you provide. And I think what I'm hearing is you saying that you'll take payment from all from all insurance companies. There is a Medicaid component, Medicare component, is that correct?
That is correct.
So it sounds, and private pay as well.
That's correct.
So basically, whatever funds someone has, whatever available funds someone has, will help pay for the services you provide.
Absolutely.
Okay. You mentioned Bancroft Private Care. What is that?
Bancroft Private Care is our affiliate company. It is a private care home care agency. So for those individuals that have out-of-pocket expenditures that can complement care, or maybe somebody that needs or requires 24/7 care for safety at home, or they'd like the benefit of having a live-in caregiver, maybe it's a senior in the community that would like to go shopping, or maybe have some companionship, someone to keep them company. Those are the types of services that we provide under Bancroft Private Care.
Is it a licensed program?
It is. It's licensed by the DOS, which is the Division of Occupational Safety, so we have a license for that. We also have a registered nurse who manages all of our clients.
What about accreditation?
No, in Massachusetts, Nick and Donna, a private home care agency does not require accreditation.
I can tell you that we've had clients in the office who have even requested home care companies, or we'll say Bancroft Private Care at this point, to go into the hospital with them and stay with them overnight. I've seen that happen time and time again with our clients. They'll come in and say, I'm not comfortable with someone not with my parent for the full 24 hours, and they will actually hire a company to go in and stay with their parent or their spouse or whatever it be during that time. And I know that you provide those services as well.
We do, and it's very, very comforting. It's comforting when you've established a nice, trusting relationship with that agency, and you know that you can, for a son or daughter, if mom or dad is in the hospital, you can go to bed at night and you have complete peace of mind that mom or dad is taken care of. And everybody works. That's reality now, is that we're all working.
Now, you mentioned that there's no, well, I'll call it formal accreditation by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, but you're part of the Home Care Alliance of Massachusetts, is that correct?
Yes, we are, Nick.
And you are accredited by that organization.
Bancroft Private Care is not accredited by the Home Care Alliance. The Home Care Alliance is a general governing type of body. The Auburnviene Health Network, which is our certified division, the Medicare and Medicaid reimbursed piece, is licensed by the Department of Public Health.
Okay.
So we have surveys, ongoing surveys, and we achieved a deficiency-free survey that we're really, really proud of.
Is there special training that someone who's employed by Auburnviene Health Network needs to undergo?
There is. In terms of the staff that are out there in the homes, the home health aides are required to complete a 75-hour home health aide certification training program.
And, there are, we'll call them filing requirements by an employer, right? Who's responsible for workers' comp, tax filings, that kind of thing?
That's a great question, Nick. That would be the agency is fully responsible for that. And again, we are a licensed home care agency. We are not what's called a registry. And there's some discrepancy in the market where some consumers will think that they're buying true licensed home care services when they're actually buying registry services, which do not cover workers' comp and liability insurance on the employees.
One of the big points that I had as far as Mass Health is concerned is when someone wants Mass Health, a community Mass Health program, maybe with PCA services, for them to realize that they're the employer. They're responsible for hiring the people, making sure if the person calls in sick that they will have someone come in and take that person's place. There are certain agencies that are out there that can help you with the bookkeeping that's required, but I think it's a particularly onerous situation for someone who's in need of healthcare services to be required to do these, we'll say, quarterly filings.
It's a great conversation that the two of you are having, so I'm a little reluctant to jump in, but one of the things that I wanted to say too is it's easy to start talking about the Auburnviene Health Network like an agency. But the reality is when you start to think about Bancroft Private Care, what we're really trying to develop is a family that's integrated with other people's family. We have 47 trained aides. We know each of them intimately. We check their background. We're involved in their ongoing training and development. We know what their history is. We have a nurse supervision that's there on an ongoing and recurring basis. We have a liaison in our office that goes out and does spot checks as well as spot trainings, because what we really want to do is build a division and build a relationship where our family is now part of your family. We're interested for it to be personalized and customized services. If it's taking you out to the ball game or a grandson's, graduation or whatever, or it's just you need help with the activities of daily living, you need somebody to do some shopping for you, you need to go take a shower, that's, we're interested to be kind of an extended family for people.
I'm going to want to ask you questions about Packagug Gardens, another part of that family that you're referring to. But first, it's time for us to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be right back with more Senior Focus.
Great.
Does your loved one suffer from memory impairment, dementia, or Alzheimer's disease? Consider Dodge Park Rest Home in Worcester. Our geriatric medical team and nursing staff are available 24 hours a day. We offer medication administration and incontinence care with dignity. Our activity programs are designed to engage and stimulate the mind. And with Dodge Park Rest Home, you can better protect your estate and save your assets with only a 1-year look back. Your loved one will feel safe and at home with Dodge Park Rest Home of Worcester.
Millbury Healthcare Center is a highly respected 5-star deficiency-free skilled nursing and rehabilitation center. We are renowned for our compassionate care and specialty programming, making it possible for your next step, returning home. We listen and take the time to understand your goals. We provide support and the tools needed to safely prepare for your transition home. Millbury Healthcare Center is the community choice for skilled nursing and rehabilitation.
Tired of weather reports that don't focus on Central Mass? Introducing Worcester Weather, the only video weather report for Worcester. Worcester Weather is easily accessible 24/7 by visiting chartertv3.com and is updated throughout the day to give you the best video forecast possible. Worcester Weather also airs at 5 p.m. during the Jordan Levy Show and every Worcester News Tonight telecast. Worcester Weather gives you the local forecast you have always wanted. Worcester Weather on Charter TV3 and chartertv3.com. Brought to you by Berterra Nissan of Auburn.
You know why I love Charter Cloud Drive? It's where I keep Kyle's soccer photos, my favorite music, important documents, and Jen's recital videos. Nice and safe, online. I can listen to my music at work, share photos with friends, get to my files anytime, even on the go. After all, they're more than my files, they're my life.
Charter Cloud Drive. Unlimited online storage for one low price. Visit charter.com/cloud drive to learn more.
Coverage from Central Massachusetts for Central Massachusetts.
Trouble for travelers on Worcester's only commercial airline.
John O'Brien will step down as CEO of UMass Memorial Healthcare.
Ticket prices will go up and service will be cut. After striking the pedestrian, police say the woman continued driving for about another 150 feet or so up this road.
Reporters in the field and an in-depth local forecast. Worcester News Tonight on Charter TV3.
This has affected a lot of people.
Welcome back. You're watching Senior Focus and our discussion with Kimberly Harmon and Jim Grady and Don Osagai. What kind of things does Bancroft Private Care provide?
Bancroft Private Care provides a whole bunch of services, Nick. Home health aides for 24/7 safety at home, overnight care, medication management from our nursing staff, transportation to doctor's appointments, maybe a visit to the shopping mall
When
or
you
things
say
like
medication management, do personnel from Bancroft actually dispense the medication?
Only if it's a nurse. The
Okay,
nurse is
right.
allowed to actually dispense.
Yeah.
We do have nurses that will go in on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis to pre-fill the medication. The caregivers are allowed to give medication reminders only, not actually administer the medication. That's a great question.
What about respite services? Do you offer that as well?
We do offer respite services. We offer private hospice services for those individuals that may be facing an end-of-life decision and the families require a little bit more assistance or some more care.
Would it be accurate for me to characterize Auburnviene as providing more of a skilled nursing service and Bancroft as providing more of a companionship program?
That is true.
Okay.
That is true. And I think, again, the difference is out-of-pocket expenditures versus an insurance-based type of product.
And someone wouldn't be relegated to one particular facility or the other. They can have help come into the home from either Auburnviene or from Bancroft, whatever they need, they're eligible for, and they can receive those benefits.
They absolutely can, and one of the benefits in receiving services from our agency is that nice continuum of care that we offer and the strong interdisciplinary communication. So we might have somebody that's on service with both Bancroft Private Care and also nursing and therapy from the Auburnviene Health Network, and our teams meet on a regular basis to talk about those cases.
I said before the break we were going to talk about Packagug Gardens when we came back, so let's talk about Packagug Gardens.
That's another one of our babies, Nick. So
It's part of the family.
It is. So the Auburnviene Health Network, as we look at it, is, an umbrella agency, and what we're really looking to do is provide a network of services. So we have skilled nursing and therapy. We have, in a sense, how you might have characterized it, the companion care, but it's an extended level of services. And then finally, what we have is a portion which is Packagug Gardens, which is a state-of-the-art adult day health facility. It's located in the brand new Packagug Church on Packagug Street in Auburn, just recently built out and moved there. It's an adult day health facility that runs from 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. And it's for adults who are looking for some of the various kinds of stimulation that would enliven their lives. So we're interested for them to build a community with a group of other adults which will allow them to either be at home or be back in their community in a revitalized and rejuvenated
Let's say
kind of
that
way.
there's someone out there and they're listening and they think to themselves, Packagug Gardens can really provide a great service for me. I can use the service because I have full-time employment and I need someone who's loving and caring to take care of my mother or my father. But you know what? On certain days, I'm not able to be there right at 4 o'clock. What if they're 15 minutes late? What if they're 20 minutes late?
and
Go ahead.
Okay, I would say that's okay. Our staff won't leave, Nick.
Right.
Our staff would never leave a participant, so it's okay if the families are late. We understand that situations happen.
I have to mention, too, that I had the opportunity with Jim and Kim to see the facility. It was absolutely wonderful. I've had no problems when our clients come in to highly recommend Packagug Gardens. It was a small community, and I've been to the larger ones, and I have visited many of them. And this had a real family home feel to it. It was wonderful. And I encourage all of our viewers to go and see Packagug Gardens. It's absolutely lovely, beautiful place. They had wonderful smells coming from the kitchen because I happened to go right before lunch. They were just eating lunch, actually. But all the participants were really happy to be there. And that was the overall feeling as I got to speak with each one of them. So it's a wonderful place. Should be really proud of it.
Thank you.
Thank
we
you,
really
Donna.
are.
Who works for Packagug Gardens? What kind of help do you have there?
Well, I'm happy, maybe we can do this together, but first of all, the program is, and you might want to talk about the background that makes it, but we have a registered nurse who's the program director. We have somebody who's an activities director, and then we have a couple of people who are home health aides. Like you said, we're trying to build a community. Typically, right now, we're looking at 4 participants for one of our team so that there's a lot of individualized attention, unlike a lot of bigger places that you talked about where people are just left to themselves, sitting in a chair. There really is fundamentally no TV outside of The Price is Right. You can't take that away from them. But the activities are all driven to stimulate them so that there's manual dexterity things like puzzle work. There's crossword puzzles to challenge them mentally. There are games. There is exercise programs to focus on, just simple senior exercises, balance, coordination, lots of things to keep them active and vital.
What about the ratio of people who are there to provide care and the people who need care?
Yeah, it's a very intense program. And even though we have a huge diversity of participants, right now we're typically at 3 participants to 1 staff, maybe 4, versus 6 or 8.
I had the opportunity to meet your activities director at our holiday gala. She came up and introduced herself and saying what great things were happening there. So I was excited to I think I reached out to you to go and see the facility. I wanted to see what it was like because I was excited to hear about all the programs they have. She talked about how it was a family feeling of that she cared for every one of them, along with Mara, who's I think your nurse who runs the program itself. Fantastic. It was just great to go and see it. So
that's so wonderful. Can I share with you just a quick little story?
Of course.
One of our participants at Packagug Gardens passed away last week, and it made a significant impact on everybody there. And Lisa is wonderful. What Lisa did is she enrolled all the participants, and they made dinner for the family. They created cards. And then the pastor who was over at Packagug Church did a ceremony with the participants. So when Jim says it's like an extension of our family, it really is.
Yeah, a real feeling of community.
Real feeling
amongst
of
the
community.
participants.
I have to mention too that just for I don't think I even spoke to you about this. We had the pastor of the church come in right in our office building. Is the dentist right aside? He came in to introduce himself and say how proud he was that you were part of his church and that they offered this program. So I said how beautiful the church is, and on top of that, that they allow this service to be provided for seniors is just wonderful. So I think the church is just as proud to have you be part of it. So
thank you for sharing that, Donna.
I wanted to talk about transportation. What if someone wants a loved one to participate in Packagug Gardens but is having problems with transportation?
Transportation can be covered if an individual is eligible for services under the Elder Services or the ASAP, which is the Aging Service Access Point. That is an option.
And one of the things that you highlighted that I apologize, I wasn't very clear on is this is a program that we run Monday to Friday, 8 to 4. We can create extended hours. If somebody is working late, that's something we're looking to shape and develop the program according to needs, but people don't have to be there every day. We have some people that are there 5 days a week. We have some people there that are 2 days a week. In one kind of way, what we're looking for it is to be a stimulating community environment, whether you chose to go for yourself, whether you have a spouse or partner that you think would benefit from the program, or if you have an elder in your home or your community that think would benefit. So it can be respite, but it can be respite for somebody else. But whoever's in the program, we want it to be, fully engaged.
So there's a wide range of services that are available depending on what the needs are of the person in the community that needs your services, whether it's skilled nursing care, whether, in my own words, it's more of a companionship type thing or adult daycare program. There's really a lot of services that are available. I think it's incumbent upon people to go and see what's available in their community and then take advantage of those services.
Yes.
We're going to have to head to a break right now, and when we come back, we'll talk about a pet peeve of mine, the Asset Verification Project.
Millbury Healthcare Center is a highly respected 5-star deficiency-free skilled nursing and rehabilitation center. We are renowned for our compassionate care and specialty programming, making it possible for your next step, returning home. We listen and take the time to understand your goals. We provide support and the tools needed to safely prepare for your transition home. Millbury Healthcare Center is the community choice for skilled nursing and rehabilitation.
Does your loved one suffer from memory impairment, dementia, or Alzheimer's disease? Consider Dodge Park Rest Home in Worcester. Our geriatric medical team and nursing staff are available 24 hours a day. We offer medication administration and incontinence care with dignity. Our activity programs are designed to engage and stimulate the mind. And with Dodge Park Rest Home, you can better protect your estate and save your assets with only a 1-year look back. Your loved one will feel safe and at home with Dodge Park Rest Home of Worcester.
Still getting your business internet and phone from the phone company? Here are 3 reasons to switch to Charter Business. 1. Our 16 meg business internet is up to 5 times faster than standard DSL or T1 service. 2. Our business phone service delivers reliable calling and you can keep your phone number. 3. You save money, lots of money. Get business internet and phone for only $89 a month, only for a limited time. Stop paying too much with the phone company. Switch to Charter Business today. Call 877-BIZ-BUNDLE.
Tired of weather reports that don't focus on Central Mass? Introducing Worcester Weather, the only video weather report for Worcester. Worcester Weather is easily accessible 24/7 by visiting chartertv3.com. It is updated throughout the day to give you the best video forecast possible. Worcester Weather also airs at 5 p.m. during the Jordan Levy Show and every Worcester News Tonight telecast. Worcester Weather gives you the local forecast you have always wanted. Worcester Weather on Charter TV3 and chartertv3.com. Brought to you by Berterra Nissan of Auburn.
Join me on the Hank Stoltz Experience. You know, people are always asking me, what is the experience? Well, that's the beauty of it. It's everything that has to do with Central Massachusetts. From the politics of the region to the great events that are going on each and every weekend or every night right here in Central Mass. It's everything that's going on. It's everything that you want to know about. And just like Kelly Square, where the traffic never stops, we never stop either. There's no red lights on the Hank Stoltz Experience, only on Charter TV3.
Welcome back to the Senior Focus. I told you that one of my pet peeves was this new program called the Asset Verification Project. Basically, what it is Mass Health has people that go into the nursing homes. I suppose more accurately, they go into the files of nursing home residents to determine whether there are assets that are in existence that haven't made it onto the application. And in the event there are, and they find assets that haven't made it onto the application, I would assume these people are going to be disqualified from Mass Health, which means that they're no longer going to be able to fund and pay for their nursing home care, and eventually they're going to have to return to their homes. I think it's happening at a time when there is insufficient funding and budgeting for home health care services, and I think it's going to have a rather disastrous effect. I'm not saying I think that people should be dishonest and that they should lie on their applications. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you look at the end effect of what's going to happen, it's going to have a rather disastrous effect. I want to talk a little about Obamacare. The numbers are incomprehensible. I think the estimates were that the cost of Obamacare would run somewhere around $940 billion for a 10-year period of time. Now they're coming out and they're saying that the cost of Obamacare is going to be about $1.8 trillion over 10 years. That's a twofold increase in their estimates. $1 trillion is $100,000 million. I mean, it's a lot of money. Do you think that home health care services are going to be impacted by Obamacare?
I do, Nick, and I think in fact we're seeing it right now with the decrease in Medicare reimbursement, without a doubt.
One of the things that really, and particularly caused me concern was in Obamacare there is this portion of it where they're looking to establish minimum wage and overtime requirements for home health care workers. And as I looked at it a little bit, I'm thinking, well, a lot of home health care workers will do an overnight component in the care they provide, and because they're 24 hours, they're overnight. A lot of what they do is they'll sleep in the person's home to make sure that in the event the person needs some kind of assistance during the evening, they're there. Now, up to this point, their services have been characterized as companion services. So there hasn't been this minimum wage and overtime requirement that Obama is not proposing. I suppose he's saying, hey, things have changed. There's far more home health care that's necessary at this point, so we have to change our laws. Understand it to an extent. The argument about the minimum wage, I don't think any home care agencies that I'm aware of will pay someone who does an overnight less than minimum wage to begin with. I don't believe that the minimum wage is the issue. I believe overtime is the issue. What do you think is going to happen to your agency, for instance, if you had to pay an employee overtime for the time that they spent sleeping at someone's home?
I have to agree with you on that, Nick, and I do have my own opinion with that, and that does fall within the structure of the regulations with the private duty sector. And what's going to happen is you're opening up a huge bucket, say, of liability on both the clients that are in the community, but also on the agency. And if you take a look at what a private home care agency charges for services, you're looking at margins that are probably small anyway in comparison to other industries. And if that agency has to start paying overtime to a caregiver, you're taking already small margins and you're bringing them down more, which means you're not going to have adequate staffing for supervision. You're not going to have the funding to contribute towards workers' comp and your liabilities. And that, to me, is opening up a big area of risk.
Very thin margins.
Very thin, Nick.
There's a clear trend away from providing care for individuals in the facility, and perhaps that's a good thing. Like I said, I've been an attorney for practicing in this area for about 25, 26 years, and I have met two people in that 26-year period of time that wanted to go into a nursing home. They couldn't take it anymore. The grass was too much to maintain. They didn't want to do snow removal. They were like, okay, it's time for me to go into a nursing home. Hundreds, maybe thousands of people that I've met during my practice want to be able to stay in their homes. To have some of the programs enacted and some of the laws enacted that will help force people out of nursing homes back into their homes is a very difficult thing, particularly when we'll use Massachusetts as an example. The governor's Community First initiative hasn't been funded. I would say hasn't been appropriately funded, but you know what? Hasn't been funded. So I think that if there are viewers out there that are interested in these things, it's not a problem. It's not, they should call their legislators and they should let them know. Or they can call my office and we can talk about the Community First initiative, and then they can call the legislators, put pressure on the people that govern them to fund and budget for the cost of the Community First initiative. I think it just shows that a person needs to maintain their quality of life, and of course, knowledge is power. The more someone knows, the better it is for them in the long run.
I know, Nick, too, that you push a lot that you have to advocate for yourself and really try and get out there and let either your legislators know or whomever that you have a great interest in this and you want to see funded programs so that people are able to survive in their homes as long as possible. And that is the goal for most people, to stay in their homes. They don't want to leave their homes. The two people that you've seen, Nick, in your span of how long, majority of our clients have never said to us that they ever want to be in a nursing home. They want to stay at home. And with the government not providing this funding for it, that's the saddest part, is that their ability to do that is being taken away in some respects.
as far as providing knowledge for people, there are programs that actually that you are in collaborating on.
We are. We are very, very proud and pleased that Auburnviene Health Network has decided to partner with us on our upcoming symposia. We have 4 symposia a year. I know that we've talked about it extensively on our TV show as well as our radio show. And we're very proud because Kim and Jim, we got together and decided that they would like to be part of this. They are contributing sponsors for all 4 of our symposia this year. Our first one coming up, Living Well with Cancer, on April 5th.
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner. We're at about 75 to 100 people right now around that, getting people in every single day. More than happy if you would like to sign up for this great event. Please feel free to call our office at 508-755-6525. Again, it's our Living Well with Cancer Symposium. We have great doctors from UMass. I know that I've sent you all of the materials. Right. To let people know about what it is. I want to ask a little bit about what you have and what you'll be able to offer on this at this event, Kim and Jim.
Sure, we'll have 2 tables set up, obviously with a lot of our collateral marketing pieces, but more than that, we'll have a whole team of staff present at the event. So for any viewers out there who would like to more information on the types of services that we provide, please come by and come visit. And Donna and Nick, we are delighted to be sponsoring this. This ties into our mission within our own organization in terms of educating the community. So we're so happy.
And that's our whole goal as elder and disability law advocates is really community education, to get the word out there, to let people know. Nick says it, his mantra, knowledge is power, all the time. He's been saying it for years. But basically, for us to collaborate with you, you have the same mission as we do, I believe. And I passionately believe that you want to reach as many people as possible and help them. That is our goal, especially with this symposia that we offer, Living Well with Cancer. We have fantastic speakers. Our keynote speaker is Dr. Alan Resmarin. He is the Chief of Hematology at UMass Memorial Healthcare. We have Dr. Kyle Wee, who has been our first guest on our show. Wonderful speaker. He will be speaking on lung cancer. We also have Dr. Justin Makel, who is the Chief of Gastroenterology and Colorectal Surgery for UMass Memorial Healthcare. We also have Dr. Vijay Kasturi, and he is an oncologist. He will be talking about chemotherapy and how one size does not fit all. We also have Dr. Susanna Mikowski. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her. She has been on our radio program. She is the Associate Director of Palliative Care for UMass Memorial Healthcare. She talks at great length. Actually, I just found out the title of her talk, How to Talk to Your Doctor, to her presentation. So we're very excited about that. We also have you, Nick.
We have me.
Talking about legal planning when ill and be organized and be prepared for their future, as well as Lynn Gerritz, who is a complementary care person. She's the wellness coordinator at Simmons Hurd Complementary Care Center for Health Alliance Hospital, another part of UMass. So we are so excited to bring this, and I know that for all of you to come and be part of this and spread the word and let your people know, as well as all our viewers, and have the ability to be there to offer community resources. I'm very thrilled that you'll have people there to speak to the community. That's what we want. They have the opportunity to go and visit all of these booths and all of these tables and get great information from companies like yours.
You know, Donna and Nick, I wanted to say that the lineup that you have, I don't think people appreciate the depth of it. I mean, we get things about going to conferences on home care and trends and industry trends and health issues. I mean, this is like national level speaking, a national level panel and organization. I can't believe it's available here, you know, in our own community.
The important thing, and like Donna said, I'll say it again, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
People are able to attend the event, walk away with a tremendous amount of information, find out what is available in the community, rather than trying to go it alone, just staying home and not finding out what's available. In order to maintain a person's quality of life, which is really what elder law is all about, right? That's what I do. I try to maintain the quality of life. It's incumbent upon them to be proactive, to go out there, find what kind of services are available. But in any event, that's all for this week's show. I want to thank Kim and Jim and Donna.
Thank you.
There's one more. There's one more segment.
That's not
no,
for
it's
this
one more
week's
segment.
show. I'm sorry, we have one more segment to go.
We were that bad.
So, no, you were wonderful. So in any event, we're going to go to a short break. But we'll be back with more Senior Focus right after these comments.
I was waiting for you to start.
Millbury Healthcare Center is a highly respected 5-star deficiency-free skilled nursing and rehabilitation center. We are renowned for our compassionate care and specialty programming, making it possible for your next step, returning home. We listen and take the time to understand your goals. We provide support and the tools needed to safely prepare for your transition home. Millbury Healthcare Center is the community choice for skilled nursing and rehabilitation.
Does your loved one suffer from memory impairment, dementia, or Alzheimer's disease? Consider Dodge Park Rest Home in Worcester. Our geriatric medical team and nursing staff are available 24 hours a day. We offer medication administration and incontinence care with dignity. Our activity programs are designed to engage and stimulate the mind. And with Dodge Park Rest Home, you can better protect your estate and save your assets with only a 1-year look back. Your loved one will feel safe and at home with Dodge Park Rest Home of Worcester.
Tired of weather reports that don't focus on Central Mass? Introducing Worcester Weather, the only video weather report for Worcester. Worcester Weather is easily accessible 24/7 by visiting chartertv3.com and is updated throughout the day to give you the best video forecast possible. Worcester Weather also airs at 5 p.m. during the Jordan Levy Show and every Worcester News Tonight telecast. Worcester Weather gives you the local forecast you have always wanted. Worcester Weather on Charter TV3 and chartertv3.com. Brought to you by Berterra Nissan of Auburn.
Hello? David! Kids, pick up!
Hey, big brother. David!
Did you get the care package that we sent you with the pictures?
Yes, it's really hot there.
Volleyball team and coach said
Don't everybody talk at once.
We're all here. That's all right. It's good to hear your voice, son. It's good to hear you, too. All of you.
Some calls you just want to take on your home phone. Stay connected with reliable unlimited calling from Charter.
Miss one of your favorite Charter TV3 programs? Simply go to Channel 1 with your remote control and select Community Interest. Choose from Worcester News Tonight, your favorite high school or college games, plus local shows such as Central Mass Chronicles, Commonwealth Report, and special presentations. They're all available on Channel 1 thanks to Charter On Demand. Watch what you want, when you want. A free service to Charter digital customers on Channel 1 thanks to Charter On Demand.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Senior Focus. If I'm not mistaken, this is our last segment, right?
It is.
Okay, so we were talking about the symposium.
We were.
Let's continue talking about the symposium.
Okay. I want to mention, too, that it is at Holy Cross College, Hogan Center. I think we are going to plan on putting some balloons at the fence because I've had a lot of elderly people who have called and said, I don't know how to get there and what gate it is. So it is confusing. Holy Cross is a very big place. And I try to explain it, but I'm going to try and put some type of signage out there so that we are able to direct people to where our event is. I want to mention that it's free of charge. There is no cost. Free lunch, free parking, gift raffles from all the tables, the vendors that will be there, the exhibitors. And I know that Nick and Kim and Jim and I were just talking about the staff that they will have at their table and how important it is for people who go with questions about specific things, such as if you have services for someone, say, who has cancer, possibly, someone who has a family member with cancer, what services you offer at home, what's available. So I know you were mentioning that you have a great staff coming. I wanted to talk a little bit about that if I can.
Sure, I will be there, Donna and Nick, as will Jim, who's our Director of Business Development. We will also have our Director for Packagug Gardens, the Adult Day Health Program, one of our clinical nurses who manages the intake department for nursing and therapy, and also the home care manager for Bancroft Private Care. So we will have all members of the management team present at the event.
We want to make sure it's not fluff, that people who come, for an event as serious as this, have all the resources to go to our booths and get the answers that they need so that this is something of substance for them.
You're right, it's not fluff. the idea is to provide really valuable information for people so that really all they have to do is be proactive to the point where they come to the event and they can get tremendously valuable information. But it isn't just about the information. There are raffles, there's the free lunch that you mentioned that's available for people. So there are other activities there as well.
There is, apart from a fantastic panel of speakers. And that's what I push, because you know what? For me, it's education. It's a great way for our community and our viewers and listeners to always know that there's more information out there for them. I tell people all the time that it doesn't have to be someone with lung or colon cancer that attends this event. We had Dr. Wee on who talked about screenings. Many people don't realize that there is lung cancer screening available, maybe at a cost.
I didn't realize that there was
I
a
did not
screening
either.
until
So
you said it.
until we've had great guests like Dr. Wee and Dr. Makela, who will be on next week talking about colorectal cancer, screenings for that, how simple it is to get a colonoscopy and know that it's not, well, I won't say a big deal, because for those of us who have had it the day before, not great prep, but at least you've cleared the way to know that you don't have colon cancer and that it is truly preventable if it is caught in time. So that another great reason for people to attend. It doesn't have to be people with colon or rectal or lung cancer. It's for those who want to learn preventative measures for getting these types of cancers. So we're so proud and excited to present this and have Auburnviene Health Network to be contributing sponsors of this event.
We are thrilled.
When Dr. Wee was talking about some of the screening measures, they're really not invasive or intrusive. It's a CAT scan. And I think he had indicated there was the potential of a cure rate exceeding 90% if it was detected at an early enough stage, of the progression of the disease. I always thought that if you were diagnosed with something like that, the outcome wasn't very favorable, but apparently, I was correct. That's not the case.
And it's the #1 cancer. And so much that he told us that we didn't realize. I always thought maybe breast cancer. It really isn't. It's lung cancer.
What'll happen is that, or I think what happens is a lot of people just don't want to face an adverse diagnosis or a diagnosis that that scares them, so they take no action on it. And then the disease progresses, and when they finally get diagnosed, there really might not be a lot that can be done for the person. Whereas if they had gone and gotten screened on in a timely fashion, the ability to provide care for the person and perhaps cure the person goes up tremendously.
Well, you opened the show with kind of a reality about Massachusetts being the worst state in the nation for the economic circumstances regarding being able to take care of yourself when you're a senior or elder. Maybe that's something you can't do something about. But the reality of the symposium, as you spread them out over the year, is that there are things you can do something about, and that's yourself. It's really an opportunity if you're a senior, or if you have somebody in your life that's a senior, to get out and get the information that's going to help with decision making now and in the future. It really is. Knowledge is power. There are things you can manage, and that's about yourself and the ones closest to you.
I think you said that the symposium was April 5th?
Thursday, April 5th. It runs from 9 a.m. is registration. 9:15, we begin right on time, hopefully. 9:15 would be our first keynote speaker. The day ends at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. In between 2:30 and 3 o'clock will be speakers who will be answering questions, and the doctors will be there to talk to. And also the ability for all of the attendees to go and visit booths like yours that offer services at home. Community, we have a lot of vendors there who will, a lot of exhibitors who will be long-term care facilities as well. So it won't just be about the home care, but if they needed more than that, there'll be a lot of companies that are involved with this. I want to mention one more time our phone number, 508-755-6525, and also our website. If you'd like to sign up for this symposium or any of them, they are all available on our website. Our website is www.edlaw.com.
And Kim and Jim, if people are listening or watching and they want to contact you, how would they do that?
Sure, they can call us at 508-791-0081 or log on to our website at www.avhn.org.
And in the event someone did look on your website, what kind of information can they expect to find there?
They can expect to find anything and everything that our organization does. All access on the website.
as we were mentioning, there's clearly a trend away from care in the facility to having the care provided in the community. I'm not sure if I said that there was a trend away from care in the facility, but that's what I meant to say if I didn't say, to care at home. I just don't know that there's been adequate funding for those services from the state. So it's clearly to someone's best interest to find out what services are available and to prevent a deterioration in their condition by having those services brought to bear at as early a period of time as needed. We say over and over that knowledge is power. The more that a person knows, the better it is for them. And this is particularly the type of situation that we're talking about. When you take a look at the, I know I keep talking about Obamacare, but when you look at Obamacare and the budget cuts that are expected to come as a result of the implementation of this care program, it's really incumbent upon people to find out what community services are available to them and to go out and take advantage of those particular services. Now, we've established in today's program that the Auburnviene Health Network has services that range from skilled nursing care, companionship programs, adult day care programs. The transportation issue, I find, is a very active and valid concern for people. In the event that there is a transportation issue and they're interested in providing or having someone take advantage of Packagug Gardens, there's the need for them to get a screening and apply for Mass Health, for community Mass Health, but they can also try to get the transportation through Elder Services of Worcester, Inc., right?
That is correct, Nick. And also, if there's an individual in the community who would like to see what the program is about, they can spend the day at no charge. And it's sort of our gift to the community is to allow them to come in and spend time with our staff and see what the program is about.
And I think we are at the end of our program.
We are now.
I think it's
We
safe
are.
to say that we're at the end of our
Now
program.
we are.
I want to thank you, Kimberly and Jim, for joining us today.
Thank you,
Our
Nick.
pleasure.
Thank
Thank you,
Donna.
Nick. Thank you, Donna.
As I've said repeatedly during this program, and as I'm going to say again, knowledge is power. The more someone knows, the better it is for them. We'll be back next week at this very same time. If you have comments or questions about today's show, please visit the website of the Senior Focus at www.theseniorfocus.com. Or you can feel free to call me at my office at 508-755-6525. And of course, thank you for watching.
Jim,
Donna.
thanks,
Amazing.
Thank you very much. It was nice meeting all of you. Bye, Kim.
Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye. Have a great day.
Hi, Gloria. I'm Donna. How are you?
You get a good chuckle out of that or what?
That's pretty good.
Oh, well.
Oh, and it's upside down.
There you go. I better let the rest up, leave the rest up to you.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm still traumatized from my segment 3 break.
You will survive.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm here.
So it was calm.
Nick, when you just do a mic check, just count 1 to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right. We'll do it in 10 seconds.
Okay.
We're going to do a promo. And
I'm Nick Kaltzis from the Senior Focus on Charter TV3. Join me this Wednesday when Dr. Justin Makel, the Chief of Colorectal Surgery at UMass Memorial Medical Center, joins me to discuss colorectal cancer issues.
good timing? Okay, good timing. We'll do one more.
Okay. I'm Nick Kaltzis from the Senior Focus on Charter TV3. Join me this Wednesday when Dr. Justin Makel, the Chief of Colorectal Surgery at UMass Memorial Medical Center, joins me to discuss colorectal cancer issues.